Here's Discover. How you doing? Wow. I feel like I'm living in a third world country. Any of you feel like you're living in a third world country? Like everybody has completely changed around you. It's like at one point in time there was a percentage of people that was at a normal way of acting. And then on this side, now there's such a diverse reaction to each subculture because we have so many people contributing to our economics. And I don't know if you notice, but where they come from, whether it's a third world country or whatever, the things that we do as Americans keep us at a state that we're 100% okay, which means I'm going to make sure it's FDA approved. I'm going to make sure, not that it's just FDA approved, but that each employee follows what they have to do to make sure that no germs are carried through to the next person that you serve. But lately, you cannot tell me you have not experienced people complaining about the food either being not cooked well, or there's something that made them sick. It's not the same. You can go complain and nobody listens to you anymore. It's all about making the money, making $1. Just the other day, I was walking in the store. Now, I never go in the store to purchase a drink, but I had a certain amount, and I say, let me get some icy. So you know how they have the fountain ices, and they have the big cup for like 79 cents, 99 cents, extra large, $1.08. So I'm saying, okay, let me go for the $1.08. I go in the store and I notice it says out of order. I'm like, out of order? Each and every soda fountain machine that plays a part in your savings. And then I noticed if I went to the cooler, there were sodas in there, but they were about close to $3. And here you trying to save money to make sure you have possibly 2 drinks. One before you exercise and one after. Then I look at the person who's in the store and there's new owners. And then I'm looking at the people who's possibly behind the counter, which they don't talk your language. They don't look like they understand or even care about what you're trying to truly get. You know how you go in the store and you get that good customer service, that they're paying attention to what you want and want to make sure that you walk out the store with what you want and the savings that you want. Well, I'm looking at the individual expecting to hear something. First of all, the first sign that the customer was not number one was the person being on the phone. The second sign was the person staring at me more than I was staring at the person. And all I wanted to know is about what's going on with the out of order sign and when are we going to get back together. There was no question in doubt that there was no answer for me. However, they were staring at me quizzitively because they knew that I am aware of how things should be. Now, if you're a customer and you go in the store and you're not aware, that means you don't care. Oh, you don't have that? Okay, bye, see you later. But a customer that cares want to ask extra questions because I want to make sure I'm truly served. And as you notice, we have people who's coming to America but don't really capitalize on America like we do. They come here, they make their money, and there's nothing wrong with that, sending the money back home. But when you're here, you have to help us capitalize, which means make the money. Don't spend a lot of money, because that's another way some people do it. No, there's a sale. We had a sale. The store itself is a sale. The franchise, the corporate, whatever, there's a sale, we all follow. Can I have that sale, please? So I go back to the store the next day, it's the same. I'm like, wow, what's going on? So without being judgmental and without judging with prejudices, which is not, but it's more of a business term of knowing what's happening and how I will be served and when I'm going to get that drink that I so much desire. But in the eyes, you can tell I'm truly thinking about leaving America. It's like either a lot of rich people have sold a lot of land to people or businesses because they're going other places to make matters even better for them, but yet we're dealing with the third world people that come here. So they used to dealing in certain situations and they know how to combat and overcome. But what about if you're American and we dealt with this situation from the beginning and we just need you to follow through? And a lot of people, seriously, I am, not just a lot of people, asking questions. Is this safe for me? Will I be safe here? Because when it gets to the point that you've dealt with certain situations, we're not trying to get there. I know you're not trying to get there. I'm not trying to get there. But we also have to worry about our health, our conditions, and the conditions we want to live by. So I began to pass the store and notice there's less people going in the store. So economically, what you think going to happen? Eventually that store is going to be closed, or they will have to question who is working that store. Why are we losing so much money? Or the progress of the individual may be, let them buy the expensive soda, and then what we have, which is is what you go by your brand. So I want to buy your brand. Your brand is the sale. I'm supporting the brand. And if I'm not supporting the brand, then I'm not supporting the franchise. I'm not supporting the corporate. I'm not supporting anything that exists in it. I'm supporting other brands, which is okay. But you're working for a certain brand. And I wanted to come here and receive that brand. And now I can see when a lot of people say, I want to get off the grid. I want to actually take the time and go out and move somewhere, what some people have done already, to see if it's better for them. Because there's some places where they have established themselves well enough to get close to what America used to be. They got close to the economics. They got close to the businesses. They got close to how to deal with certain other businesses in other countries so they can keep them ties. And that's what we want to do when we walk in the store. I'm trying to keep the tie with the brand that is more in focus. More than focusing on, I know you need to make money, but in the meantime, a lot of customers are not coming in because what we're used to receiving, we're not. And that was the first for me because I usually don't go in there and buy that brand. But was it a notion for me to go in there and just to, out of the blue, to know what's going on? It may seem crazy to you, but sometimes it's a question, especially with the chosen, because we're so accustomed to getting out of position, and all of a sudden I'm here. Now what's my purpose? I'm discussing with you truly today that I'm truly thinking about leaving America. Not at the point that you want to be forced out, but what is America going to be? Is it going to be a dictatorship? No one truly knows. They say we're going in that direction, which means we're going backwards. But we'll see, because everybody's fighting that niche of dictatorship, which leads you to just getting what they want to give you. You're going to take it, you're going to go, and you're going to come back tomorrow for whatever you need. Being dictated how your life should be, how much you should eat, how much food you should have in the house, how many cars you should have in front of your house, how many houses you should have. But some people don't realize when it comes to the financial wealth, the reason why there's such an expansion of one person's wealth, because somebody may have the same wealth but don't expand in wealth. Do you see on the economic value in America? So if you don't expand on the wealth and the economic value in America, what happens to America? We start to become a third world country who doesn't care. So now we're looking at people, and they're looking at us, saying we're selfish, we don't appreciate what we have, but we do. If we didn't, we will not economically buy in so much of abundance. It's not that you're trying to look good, or Mrs. Look Good, or Mr. Look Good, but it's what is perceived of what is natural that you do. You buy what you want, or you buy what you need. The choice is yours, nobody else. Living in America, the choice is yours, nobody else. But now, it's a choice that a lot of Americans are beginning to question. Do I want to stay here? Because the rich is leaving. They don't have to deal with what we're dealing with. So why should we be left behind? So over the next couple of months, we're not going to even give it another year. Things are being evaluated. Things are being resolved. Things are being broken down and placed back together. This is what you do. This is your know-how of what's best for you. Because if you wait too late, you may actually be in a place that you cannot get out of because of sickness, because of the wealth that will not be there anymore, because of the selfish gains of them around you. No longer is everybody putting money into America, but out of America, and most likely investing money into themselves, which their money begins to grow. There's a lot going on. They're keeping our minds focused on going bankrupt, banks closing, stores closing down. Yet our government is creating a lot of wealth through credit debts, cards, stability cards. They're creating wealth, personal wealth, which is breaking us down. Because no longer is the American person in competition with the next American, now I'm in competition with my own president. Or I'm in competition with other officials who sees the need to go after what simple Americans used to go after. So there's a broader range of who have the most. And when you have the most, isn't that the person who's going to control the most? So now you begin to ask yourself, do I want to stay in America? Is it a fight for greed? Ask yourself. Look around you. We're being blindsided. And you have to catch on. They're going to call you slow. You're not slow. Not when I'm blindsided. Not when things are hidden. You know, we got beacon coins. We got not just beacon coins. We got coins such as beacon coins, even named after certain high officials. I think, yeah, high officials. I think our newest president have a coin. Called the Trump coin. There's credit cards being made up. Debit cards that for Americans, $50,000. Catch up on it. Look into it, deadlines. While they throwing all this at you, they throwing out money too. And the things to keep you blinded by what's going on. If I can keep your mind on that, you won't know where all the money's truly at. So before you pick up your bags and leave, make sure that you know what's going on. Do I want to get off the grid or do I want to go on the grid? But first, we have to find out who's being honest with us as Americans. Until next time, be as discover. Consider, look around. Do it look like a third world country to you?